Hi, Kilmeny. So President Obama rejected the idea of creating safe zones in Syria because he thought they would pull the U.S. further into the Syrian war. So how is Trump proposing safe zones work when he also doesn't want the U.S. heavily involved there?
Good morning, Andrea. Well, very few details exist on exactly how U.S. President Donald Trump plans to execute this, other than he has said that he wants Gulf states to pay for it. Of course, he is expected in the coming days to commission a plan from the Pentagon as well as the State Department on exactly where these safe zones would be in Syria and in the surrounding areas as people await settlement or repatriation. Of course, this is something, Andrea, that he talked about all along on the campaign trail. He said that Europe made a huge mistake by allowing millions of refugees into their borders, and he doesn't want that to happen to the U.S. Of course, as you mentioned, this is a departure from his predecessor, President Barack Obama, who worried that it would draw the United States further into the conflict, particularly militarily, because there is a lot required in securing these safe zones, protecting these areas from infiltration from groups like Daesh. Of course, there is also the potential for the United States, if they had any sort of ground forces, to conflict with Russia's military, who has been aiding the Assad regime. Of course, all of this is part of a larger executive order that U.S. President Donald Trump wants to put in place, which includes a ban on Muslims entering the United States from 7 countries in the Middle East and Africa. That includes Syria, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Iraq, just to name a few. And of course, he is saying that this will allow the Department of Homeland Security to come up with a tougher vetting process. Militarily, though, Syrian refugees that we have spoken with in Gaziantep do believe that the new administration is going to do much more for the conflict in Syria with regard to the political peace process, the U.S. believing very firmly that Syria's Bashar al-Assad should not be part of the solution.
Okay, let's talk about what's going on the ground then in Syria now. We're hearing that previously divided opposition groups are now looking to consolidate their power. Who are they, and how would that work?
Absolutely, Andrea. Well, over the past few weeks, we have really seen a flare-up in the fighting, not just between Jabhat Fatah al-Sham, formerly al-Nusra Front, but also with a lot of these opposition groups. They have been divided. They've been very fragmented. But that fighting resulted in Jabhat Fatah al-Sham taking headquarters, arms depots, weapons, and also ammunition from Jaish al-Mujahideen, not just in Idlib, but also in East Aleppo. Ahrar al-Sham, one of the opposition groups that is considered to be moderate, has certainly played a larger role in consolidating all of this. They did not want any part of the infighting. In fact, they deployed troops to separate these groups. As a result, 6 of those opposition groups have gone under Ahrar al-Sham. And of course, this essentially effectively separates the opposition into 2, Jabhat Fatah al-Sham and Ahrar al-Sham, excluding a few smaller groups that have chosen to remain independent. But what that will do for the political process going forward is that Ahrar al-Sham will play a much larger role, knowing that Jabhat Fatah al-Sham is not included in the ceasefire and is not welcome at those discussions. Andrea.
Okay, Kilmeny Duchardt joining us there live from Gaziantep. Thanks for that.